Hello and welcome to Kotak Stock Shala. I'm Vivek Mashrani here, your host for this course. And in this course, you are going to learn from the scratch, like how to get started with building your net worth, how to start increasing your income, and we are going to learn about how to do your asset allocation, and ultimately we'll learn some of the very powerful ideas on how to invest systematically with the right thought process, with the right mindset. It was back in 2008, and I clearly remember I got my first job letter, and I had to report to Mysore in Infosys campus. That was my first job. I was just getting into the train, and it was a 36 hours journey from Ahmedabad to Mysore. And I was like, what to do for so many hours? And I thought, let me buy a book. So there are a lot of these book vendors who were there in the train, and I requested one of the books, they can give it to me so that I can spend 20-30 hours during the train and do some time pass. And he gave me a book, and that book completely changed my life. So that book name was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and when I started reading it, I thought I'll read it for a couple of minutes, couple of hours, and then I'll keep it. But I could not keep that book aside for almost 20 hours. And what I saw there is a powerful pattern which they talked about. It talks about a pattern called as Rich Dad pattern and a Poor Dad pattern. And I saw that all the patterns which we were implementing in our house was all resonating with Poor Dad patterns. And I could already resonate that a lot of rich relatives in my family were following the exact same pattern of Rich Dad, what he mentioned. And I was like, how did this guy who is sitting in US know about all these things? Because they don't know us, and the patterns were exactly same. And that is where I realized that wealth building, income building, being rich is not by accident. It is not by luck. It is by design. It's a mathematics, it's a science. And if you follow the steps, if you follow the concepts of how to build wealth, how to become rich, each one of you can become. It doesn't matter which background you come from, it doesn't matter what kind of degree you hold, and it doesn't matter where you start from. Because I pretty much started from zero. We did all the possible mistakes in our family which we could do, and that is why I'm sharing some of these concepts with all of you before even going deep dive into the stock selection and the strategies and idea generation and screening. That comes much later. But if you understand the mindset of what is a big difference between somebody who can become rich and who doesn't become rich. The first concept which all of us needs to know if you want to generate wealth is the first step of income minus expenses, that is savings. So if we don't save, we will not be able to invest and the money will not grow. The first step of starting off the wealth building journey is your savings. Now again, a lot of people ask me, what is the right number of saving, like whether it is I need to save big or not. The answer is you need to get started in saving. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. You can start small and then that builds up. But all of you know this equation, right? Income minus expenses is equal to savings. Now, when I ask you that how will you increase your savings, the immediate thought generally comes in our mind is, let me reduce some of the expenses. And I've put it into this slide. If you see the slide, I have put the slide where there are expenses and then there are incomes on the left hand side. So most people, when I ask them, they start telling that, hey, I need to decrease my rent, I need to reduce my EMI, I need to make sure I go out less, I do less of entertainment, less of hobbies and all that, and how can I save more by reducing the expenses. And when I read this book, that was again a very powerful thought which Rich Dad Poor Dad taught about. It said that, hey, you don't need to focus too much on expenses. I'm not saying you don't need to focus on expenses, but if you get too finicky on reducing the expenses, the bigger part, which is on the left side of the PPT, gets missed out. That is growing your income. So there is a limit to which you can decrease the expenses. You can only save so much by reducing the expenses. but there is no limit in terms of how many income sources you can have and how big your income can become. You might have already known some of the biggest industrialists and entrepreneurs in India. If you see Reliance and Mukesh Ambani and Dhirubhai Ambani and Tatas, they own crores and crores worth of wealth, and the profits of these companies run in multiple crores. So there is no limit in terms of how high you can grow in terms of income. That means if you want to increase your savings to a very, very big scale, the focus area should not be too much on decreasing the expenses, but the focus area should be on increasing the income. So there are multiple ways in which you can increase the income. So if you see, there is a salary income which you can have if you are working and doing a job. That's one source of income. The second source is business income. The third is interest, rental, royalty, passive income from stocks, bonds. There are so many avenues through which you can actually increase income. So what I'll do is together in next couple of minutes, I'll give you a practical tips with ChatGPT how you can actually explore what you can do for yourself. And this is again guidelines. Please consult your advisors and everything while you are understanding this course. But this is like a practical tips which I'm giving to you, which you can implement. Then of course you can refine with the right financial consultant. But what I generally love to do is I love to use technology. So you can use this prompt which I'm pasting right now. You can just type in your ChatGPT that what are the top active and passive sources of income available in India, and please give me 10 such sources. So I'll do it live along with this presentation, and let's see what ChatGPT comes up. So it will give you detailed sources. It is like just going deep and practically for India. It is giving you so many ideas. So it is telling you you can do freelancing, you can do part-time job, you can do online coaching, you can do consulting, you can do YouTube, you can do podcasting, you can do content writing, blogging, digital marketing services, offline businesses. And if you see the passive income sources, you can do stock market investing, you can invest in mutual funds, you can invest in fixed deposit, bonds, you can earn from affiliate marketing, you can do REITs, and so on and so forth. So hope this small exercise gave you first an eye-opener understanding that if you want to increase your income, the ideas and the way to do it is just on your fingertips if you keep your mind open. So that's the first principle I want all of you to learn during this course is focus on increasing income. That's the first and most important step you want to do if you want to grow your savings, and then we will learn more about investing later on. I'll give you two more prompts before we end this first section of video. Is you can just type I am so and so, like you can type I am say engineer, or I am a tech person, or I am a business owner, whatever is there, you can just fill it here. I can say that, hey, I am business owner. What would be top 3 areas suitable to me? So it will try to give you ideas around what all are the relevant points suitable to your profession, and it will dissect, and you can play around with it. You will get so many ideas. And then one more prompt which you can put is my age is so and so. Based on that, give me 0 to 5 years roadmap. So it will actually give me 5-year roadmap of how I can proceed from here to next 5 years and build these income sources. Okay, so please do this exercise, and we will see you in the next video where we'll be going deeper into the concepts of how you can use this income and what to do with this income. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.